Hey everyone, Rochelle Caldwell here, and today I wanted to share a few things that someone very near and dear to me shared with me. It's honestly taken me a while to do this because every single time I tried, I would get a bit teary-eyed. But I wanted to dedicate this episode to the loving Sarah Terry. They always say to surround yourself with people who have been where you were going. And Sarah had accomplished and gave back to this world in so many ways through the grace of God. And she was such a wonderful person and was a huge influence on my success. God places people in your life to steer you in the right direction and help guide you when needed. And you might have remembered if you tuned in a few episodes ago where Thomas Marshall mentioned the passing of our dear Sarah Terry and how it hit him. And you probably remember me breaking into tears. But Sarah has impacted so many of us, Thomas, myself, and others. And she was honestly like a second mom to me and did everything in her power to instill so much wisdom in me. So today I wanted to give back and share some of those lessons and words of wisdom because she aspired me to inspire and has inspired me to kind of think about what I wanted to do in life. So before the end of her life here on earth, she taught me to be prepared and have peace of what is to come. During her illness, Sarah did her best to prepare everyone close to her, including herself, for what was to come. She prepped me months before her passing and was, slowly doing what she needed to do to prep her family members, to prep us, and those that were very close to her. And the more and more I spent time hearing about her situation and what was happening and things about doctor's visits, the more and more I noticed she started to be content about the situation. And towards the end, Sarah was ready for her transition to the next life and to be with the Lord and had so much peace about it. Honestly, even before she got sick, she was always one to say, be prepared for the good and the bad and expect the expect the best and prepare for the worst. What are you going to do about it, right? Because sometimes there are just things that we can't control. And this world is a cruel world, and there are just a lot of hurt and pain. And they say in life, it's 10% of what happens to you and 90% of how you react. The better your attitude, the better it'll be. And again, as I said, you can't control everything. The second thing that I wanted to mention is one thing she taught, and we hear it all the time from our parents is think before you act. So essentially, think before you act or ponder on what you could have done better to prep for the next lesson God has for you. Because as we know, God will sometimes put you through the same test over and over and over again until you pass it. You might inch closer to the passing, but sometimes I'll pull you right back and put you through something. And it might not be the next month, it might not be the next year, it might be years from now. And every time I would tell her something that I would either think about doing or that I did, she would always have this fabulous phrase and just say, okay, or okay, and why would you do that? She had a way of making me think about what I did. And it would just be that look on her face to say, you sure that was the okay thing to do? Or are you sure you want to do that? And, just made you think about learning from the situation or a way to think a little bit longer before you acted on something that you might, do. I just, constantly hear that okay and okay, if that's what you want to do. But she never said I told you so. Now, one of the biggest lessons she taught me and her husband, who is also near and dear to me, Mr. Cassius Terry, reminded me of her famous saying, people will be people, right? Unfortunately, this world is such a cruel, cruel world and full of cruel people. Even those that are closest to you will hurt you sometimes, either intentionally or unintentionally. And she used to always say, "Why are you getting so worked up about this? Let it go." Those people are sleeping peacefully at night. All you're doing is hurting yourself, getting all worked up about this for no reason. And remember, if you allow people to make you mad and stir up your emotions, you're allowing them to control you. So instead, understand that one, people are not like you and don't always think like you. And we're all unique in our own ways, and you have to do you. And two, just understand that they're going to do what they do. And some people just like that sense of feeling like they're in control. But don't get so worked up about these things. Continue to just let it be, let it go, and roll it off your shoulders and keep it moving. The fourth thing was love on people and expect nothing in return. Sarah served so much and expected nothing in return. You know, we're in a society now where we know we are worth something and don't want to do things for free. And there are some things that you are called to do that you should do gracefully and lovingly and expect nothing in return. You know, they always say high risk, high reward in the finance world of, the more and more and more you're going to do, the more and more you're going to get. The more harder you work, the more money you're going to make. But when it comes to serving and when it comes to fulfilling your purpose, you're fulfilling it. And you shouldn't expect anything from those people. But as she would say, there is a balance in which you have to give without being used and abused. And you can do that. But just understand that sometimes you have to learn how to pat your own self on the back, and you just have to keep doing what you're called to do. And the last thing is that there is a time and there is a place. There's a time to speak and a time to be quiet and observe. You know, Sarah was huge in observation, huge. You have to go through your observation period and see what you can learn. And honestly, you learn a lot from people by watching them. A lot of these are, like I said, the nuggets that she instilled in me to help me with my success and to just get me on the right path. You know, she would always say, you know what, the older you get, the less and less you care about those smaller things that used to make you mad. And the things that you used to get mad about or the things that you used to get worked up about, you don't get worked up about anymore. Understand that you have to be able to control what you can control, right? And understand the things that you can't control and be content about it. And again, these are kind of the little nuggets that I wanted to share that she instilled in me to help inspire you to succeed in your own way that you can take. So thank you so much for tuning into this short episode of Aspire, everyone. Bye.